Do you know what time it is? It's Primetime, the official commissioner podcast of the Sim Madden League. Buckle up because it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fire. Now, without further ado, here is SML legend Primetime 000.
Welcome to the newest, the hottest, the freshest, the bestest podcast on the SML network. It is SML Primetime, and I am the commissioner, I am Primetime, I am the GOAT, and I am the host, the lone host of this show, or maybe not, spoiler alert for later on. And if you're looking for a niche podcast, something about 15 minutes or less, give or take, then this is the one you want to listen to. This is the one you listen to in a short car ride. This is the one you listen to with no screen required. You plug the Bluetooth on, you plug your aux cable in if you got an iPhone 3, and you just play and you go with the flow. This is SML Primetime, and like I said, I am Primetime. This is the Sim Madden League. This is the hottest podcast. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. The intro's out of the way. It's the first quarter. It's time for the kickoff of the first quarter. And this segment is called Shots Fired. So look, I'm going to be real. I'm a realist. I'm a straight shooter. And that's why I'm calling this Shots Fired. I'm calling out some guys because they deserve it. Rowan Kuh, listen, I like you. You're a great guy. First ever primer call out, the Rowan Kuh. What a guy. His dad, Papa Kuh, came in, did a podcast. Such a gentleman, really. Season 1, it was everybody's favorite underdog story. He made the playoffs, got whooped up on by Meats, but he made the playoffs. And then, Season 2, he got to the game before the playoffs. Win and you're in. You just got to play Grams, who had been struggling. Admittedly, Grams said he was struggling. And what did you do? You throw like 15 interceptions. You literally probably run backwards a few times, and you just completely crap the bed. You embarrass yourself in front of the SML and lose the game. Listen, I'm going to give it to you straight. You're the Jeff Fisher of the SML. You're never going to win anything. The only reason people care about you is because Papa Kuh. Your dad is LeVar Ball. You're not even Lonzo. You're Jello Ball. You're Jello Ball. That's Graham's division. That's the new Q Pierce's division. And now, after Chris's win over you, it's Chris's division. Rowan Kuh, you might not even get to third place in that division. I'm completely upset, and that's my first shot that's fired is on the Rowan Kuh. All right, so now, if you thought that was the only shot on fire, and Mad Bomber, listen, I'm hating on you mainly because you beat me 5 out of the last 7 times we've played, but I got to take my shots at you because of that. I love the content you do. Heat check, first and goal. It's all great. But get your facts straight, Bomber. On heat check, I listened. You said that my offense was bad week 1. I put up nearly 40 points, 300 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, and 0 punts. Just do your research. So that's a mini shot fired at you, Bomber. But in all seriousness, the next guy and the final shot I'm firing is at Mike FML. Listen, Mike, I love you. You do a lot for the SML. You're the primer commissioner. You're good at what you do. You're really good at what you do. You help rally the troops. But you completely just hated on Tiny for his trade, as if you're this team managing god. But you completely mismanaged Aaron Rodgers in Season 1 and Season 2. And you really stunted Jordan Love's development in Season 1 at least. And you only got a 3rd-round pick out of Aaron Rodgers, basically. I would have at least got a 2nd, maybe a 1st out of him. So Mike, stay in your lane. Shots fired. So now after I'm done firing my shots, I want to go. We're going to keep this thing moving. We're moving this thing hot. We're going to the second quarter. Kiss and make up time. I gotta kiss up to some people who I've done wrong, and that's the SML preacher. That's Pastor Dan. Dan, I said you couldn't win the big one. I said that you're like Meats. I called you the folding chair. Really, I was wrong. And you won the Simbardi Trophy. And one of those big things is coming. And I expect you, I'm challenging you actually to bring that to church one day. I don't know how you're going to incorporate it, but that's the big challenge for you, to bring that to church one day and somehow incorporate that in a message. But anyway, I just want to kiss. I want to make up with you, and it's good to see you win the big one. But I do have one question for you. Instead of Gatorade, do you have holy water poured on you, or how does that work for the SML preacher? And oh wait, I think I'm having an intermission here. Uh-oh, we're being hacked. We're being hacked. Who is this?
Here's my thoughts on Dan winning the Super Bowl. Everybody knew he'd get one eventually. He plays well. He studies. He does all the right things. He's got all the right cheese. And now that he cheesed QB out of the league, he's got a clear shot at winning more.
Well, that was SML Anonymous giving his thoughts on Pastor Dan. It looks like he just wanted to have his feelings heard there. And all I can say is SML Anonymous is back. I can't say who he is, but hey, he's going to be on every episode of this show, of SML Primetime. We only have the best. We only have the best. And SML Anonymous is back in action. Maybe new SML Anonymous ownership. I can't confirm or deny it. But moving on now to the third quarter. Just like that, we're on the third quarter. And it's time to start from the bottom. like the Drake song, started from the bottom. And that is Chris and Kells. Look, I just want to talk about a bottom feeder who's kind of impressed me. And the Eagles, despite their cap situation, ugly cap situation, they were picking number 1 overall. They stuck to their guns. They drafted a safety. Only one win, like I said, last year. And he comes in and he beats Rowan Kuh, who was 1 game out of a division title. Wins week 1, just like that. I think that Chris could actually get on a run. Keep in mind, this guy has won a tourney. He won the preseason tourney just before this cycle started. So Chris has the talent. He has the stick skills. He just has to put it all together. I believe that Chris could be something special if he can just rededicate himself to this game. This Eagles team was good season 1, but they age quick. The cap room is not pretty, but he battled through it. He got through it. And now I think he's going to be in a good situation moving forward through the rest of the cycle. So that's really all the third quarter is really just giving a shout out to a bottom feeder. So that's 3 quarters in. We're already 3 quarters in, and now it's time for the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter is it's the State of the Union. And usually when you get a State of the Union, you need a little bit of help. And that's when my short co-host comes in here. And I'm the commissioner. And what good is a president or a commissioner without the first lady? And now I'm introducing Miss Prime. All right, so Miss Prime, the topic of today we're going to talk about is, should a woman join the SML? How do you feel about women joining the SML, women playing Madden, all that? So first of all, have you thought about joining the SML?
In fantasy world, sure. If I could actually play, maybe I would have considered it. But I can hardly play a game of Crash and win with you, so...
Yeah, we do play Crash Bandicoot from time to time. So you've thought about joining the SML, but what do you think? How would you feel if a woman joined the SML?
The feminist side of me says yeah.
You're not a feminist.
Says that would be really cool, groundbreaking. However, I think it would take a certain type of woman to put up with you guys.
Yeah, we're a unique group of guys. So do you think a woman could legitimately compete in the SML?
I am sure there are women that
You
could.
think there is?
Yeah,
I don't. No way. No way.
I don't know any women who can, but most of my friends aren't gamers. So
I'll have you know that we are the collection of the best Madden players that there ever was, and I just don't see that happening. So you think there is a woman who could join the SML right now and compete at a high level?
I'm sure there is.
Wow. Okay. So okay. I mean, that's your opinion. So, and would you like to see that? Would you root for her if woman A comes in and joins the SML? Would you root for this woman?
Yeah, we'd text every day.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. You would probably be spying on her to make sure she's up to no good, or up to good, I should say. So, all right. So, So that was kind of our topic of the SML. Kind of fun question is, if a woman joined the SML, um, uh, could she do some damage? And Miss Prime says yes, she could, and I guess she would be allowed in the SML. So you don't mind women joining? It's not just an all guys fraternity.
No, I don't care if a woman joins.
All right, so there you go. All right, so that was our fourth quarter with Miss Prime, with the SML First Lady, on whether or not a woman joining the SML would be groundbreaking, and it would be, and that'd be a fun topic of discussion. But what's a good football game without overtime, right? We always talk about having overtime. My overtime topic is kind of a team building discussion, and I kind of want to see your guys' thoughts um, in the chat after you listen to this. Is building your team. Do you build your team through the draft mainly, or through free agency and trades? I've noticed Dookie is a guy who really builds through trades, and he builds through free agency. He's not really a drafter. He doesn't seem to believe in drafting young talent and developing them. Whereas myself, usually I'm a drafter and I trade picks, wheel and deal, and draft young talent. You rarely see me sign a big time free agent. I think Grams is more of a drafter. KJ seems to be, he tries to draft and develop his guys, and he'll sprinkle in some free agents. I think the tried and true method is definitely you draft, you develop that talent, and you try to trade them off before that second contract if they're not elite. If they're not elite, you trade them, you recoup those draft picks, and you keep the process going. But it's so tough to do that if you're not winning. And I think that's where a lot of guys struggle, is to really develop that talent. You need to win. And to win, you need good players. So some guys sign the best players, they overpay, and then they're stuck in cap, and cap purgatory, and it's just not pretty. But for me, I like drafting, I like homegrown talent, and then I'll add a piece here or there, one big trade, one big free agent signing a cycle, and do it that way. That's kind of how I like doing it, and I found the most success doing it that way. Free agency, you're always going to overpay. It's just like real life. You see the Eagles doing it. You see the Bucks doing it this year. It just seems like things don't work out when you spend big in free agency, and Dookie's going to be an interesting sample size. This Bucks team has really invested in free agency, so I'll be curious how that works out. But guys, this is overtime, so let's not drag this out to double overtime like the Super Bowl. Let's cut it short here, guys. This is SML Primetime, the new hot podcast. Let me know who you think should be a hot button issue, or what should be a hot button issue next time on the show. But until next time, I'm Primetime. Thanks for listening. You guys have a good day.